for these two teams, Team Copycat versus Team Fire Ass Mixtape. Week 2 of the Beer League Season 4. Is that really these two teams? Who did they play last week? IQ. Okay. Fire Ass Mixtape having a 1-1 series against Team IQ last week. And
Boy, was
Team...
that the series.
Yeah. Possibly the longest game in Beer League ever. Their game 2. I'm gonna go look to see what WSG versus CC was. 1-1 as well. Oh yeah, Trooper having an insane series on Jinx 2 games in a row, but WSG having WSG Big Bear taken out, able to carry through in that second game. So the people are talking in chat. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
We are
I think
still
that's talking.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay. Looks like now we're readying up. Waiting on Team Copycats, I suppose. I'm gonna blame JoJo, being in Alaska. Sometimes it takes a little while for things to get over here.
The packets are still sending.
So, if we are looking at these two teams, you have JoJo and Braum, the two winningest players in all of Beer League, winning Season 1 on BBW and Season 3 on IOL. Cat drinking coffee.
It's bad for him. Don't let him.
Yep. Trooper and Aloe have played together a lot on various teams and have been looking pretty good in the bot lane. Like I said, last season or last series for them, Trooper had a crazy pop off series on the Jinx. Yes, Bailey. I don't know if they can't see me or if they're just being trolling, but yeah. Wow, Bailey, messing with me? Rude. And so then on the other side, you've got Fam, Celestial Vixen, and Elias in the bot lane. Elias, I think normally a top lane main, but playing support, had a really good game on the Galio, which is kind of what I know him for, more so than the Lux that I think they really picked it as kind of a takeaway. Aratameru played mages both games last series.
I believe it was. Wait, maybe that. No, I'm thinking of a different team. But yeah, I think mages. I was thinking of Diana, which was Calamity and Waffle Sauce.
Yeah. Yep, Aratameru played the Victor at least once, and I don't remember what he played in the first game. Hopefully Jelly Bean will remove himself from the mouse pad and remove the teeth from my headphone cable here very shortly. Sloppy Froppy had a bit of a rough game one in the last series against looking to sub for LCS's Nunu, but his game two on the Vi was much stronger. So when I think of these players, I think they're I kind of think Fam, if they have a bunch of go buttons, uh, it's gonna look better for them.
They should be in Beer League Discord, both teams. All right. To monitor that there isn't some secret sixth person coaching them in game.
Yep. Maybe.
Although I actually can't see like Fam in theirs either, so I don't know.
All right, Jelly Bean.
It already begins in the Twitch chat. Yeah, your like HDR thing shows up at least in the Discord stream. I don't know if it shows up in like the stream, but when you like do some things, it'll brighten and not brighten.
That's very odd.
Yeah. Looks like it might be like a visibility issue thing. Not all Discord channels are created equal.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And I don't really have access to do anything about that, at least on this account. I don't think I have access on Deepfake David to do anything either. It's gonna be fun casting the entire series while also waving a laser pointer around and trying to keep Jellybean entertained.
Yeah.
All right, there they are. For one of them. There we go. All right, let's get this show on the road.
Please, I have to eat dinner after this.
All right, draft has started. I would like to see a Jinx ban out of CC if they don't first pick it.
I feel like Jinx is just so strong right now that just making it first pickable. Right?
Yeah.
Why would they not take it?
Yep.
But Fam is saying, no, let's not do that. We'll see if CC leaves up the Samira. I know that's been pretty contested isn't, I feel like, really the word, but like a lot of people know that Celestial Vixen has some very good games with Samira. But not this game.
Yeah. That's to be expected. And a Kiana ban against JoJo.
Oh, but we're gonna first pick Akshan instead, which I imagine is for Braum. It's his like really big comfort pick right now.
Yep. And
Oh.
we are still pre-nerf.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't have to worry about the Victor or the Syndra, which are what Aratamari played last series. Both just like one-shotting him. But we are going to get a Corki instead, which, as we've seen before, can also still just about one-shot people, apparently. And we're
Yep.
getting a new lock-in. So early jungle pick, we'll probably maybe see a jungle pick from Copycat here. Jojo really likes the set jungle still, and that's pretty decent to interrupt a Nunu and throw him back into his team. But also, they like to use Trundle as a flex, and Trundle can stop Nunu with Pillar. So I'm wondering if those might be some of the options.
Yeah, I think a Trundle pick here would be really good.
You could also interrupt a Corki Valkyrie if you time it right, probably.
I think the Valkyrie, but not the package.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
package you're unstoppable during or something kind of. But we're actually picking the bot lane of Caitlyn Thresh, so that's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Caitlyn's been pretty popular lately. I think she just has like these. It's weird because like in the middle of the last league season, like I feel like she was really lackluster. So I'm not really sure what's changed besides the arcane buff, I guess. But we're getting a Jhin on the side of Fam, also pretty safe. Corki and Nunu because they're going to be kind of towards the front, lob and stuff or body blocking. It's probably a pretty good deal to keep space between Jhin and anything else. So far, it's just the Akshan that might be lurking behind the enemy lines.
Yep. I'm not sure about the Echo ban, but I like the Galio and the Alistar bans. I think Elias needs to be on something like the Nautilus to really help guide the team into battle. He is the most experienced player in all of Beer League, and so having that shot calling voice, I think, is probably how they operate. Making some assumptions here, as I have not heard their comms or anything. Morgana
Oh, no.
jungle here for JoJo.
I thought he said he was gonna wait a week or two.
Yeah, but he wants those wins now. Yeah, so that will be Morgana jungle and a Tahm Kench. So really sort of like AD heavy team here, even though Morgana and Tahm Kench and Thresh will do magic damage. That's a Beer League Teemo
That's a spicy meatball.
into Tahm Kench.
I feel like Teemo with the Tahm Kench does not feel very good, personally. I feel like, but I guess Tom's been nerfed so that he has to stay bot more often. Unless there's something really weird going on, which is possible. He doesn't store as much gray health, unless there's like 2 enemy champions nearby, I think. Or maybe it's that you have to have the ally nearby. But they made a bunch of changes so that he actually like has better returns by being bot where there's multiple people.
Yep. I believe it's 2 enemies nearby.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting because Teemo is gonna probably do a lot of poke damage. All he has to do is stand behind his minions.
That might actually be the first Teemo in Beer League.
I believe it is.
So that's exciting.
That's why I said it's a spicy meatball.
It is. Reese is saying that Akshan is one of Corki's toughest matchups. So interesting.
And I would not know anything about mid ADC matchups. Those are both things I do not do. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. CC's damage profile. Akshan does some mixed damage, right? So it's not completely uh, AD, and we still have the Morgana, and I believe JoJo's probably more inclined to build a damage.
Yeah.
And then Tom Kench does a lot of magic damage, so it's not really as like one-sided as it kind of looks on the outside. I feel like.
Yep.
Um, I wonder like if I don't know, like maybe Teemo's like actually good into Tom Kench. I don't know, or maybe they have Teemo for the blind, so maybe they need like maybe Teemo's just gonna shroom up an area, uh, squat there like around leading to dragon and like a flank point that Akshan would try and get, and then can just pew pew onto Akshan before he actually like gets to his team. I'm not 100% sure. Let's go look up Teemo versus Tom Kench. If I can spell Tom Kench.
Yeah. The other nice thing about the Teemo pick is the vast majority of CC's damage in the Caitlyn and the Akshan is auto attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So just having a blind on your team where your damage can't output any damage is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it looks like Teemo used to have a pretty bad win rate in 12-1 and beforehand, but that was before I think Tom Kench got nerfed in 12-2. So, and now he has, it's like 250 matches. So that's a small sample size on u.gg, but he does have a positive win rate. So maybe that's the tech.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I don't think anything's really gonna harm him outside of maybe like more like I feel
Yeah, I
like
think it's
Morgana
Morgana.
has to be on the killing duty. I think Morgana with a Caitlyn on the team makes any binding hitting just infinitely more deadly. They also have the Thresh, so any basically any bindings or anything here are gonna make somebody on FAM really really sad. And Morgana can really stuff any sort of engage that Nautilus wants to put out.
Or
So,
Nunu.
yes.
So there's a lot of options. But
Um,
I think I do like that FAM has, right? They have multiple methods of engage. They've got Nunu, they have Nautilus, Corki with package even. But it might be hard for like Jin to try and get the snares like set up himself, right? His W probably is actually just going to be like follow up entirely.
yep.
And there's still the Black Shield, so the good thing is that they have more than one thing that they can use, that the Black Shield won't just nullify all engage that they have, but they still have to play around it.
I'm curious if Good Loss plays a lot of Teemo. I feel like with some good shrooms set up here around objectives, you give Jin the chance to hit long range W's.
Mm-hmm.
He's played it a little bit. He went 10-1 with it in ranked in season 9. But it's not like he's just a Teemo main in ranked or
Right.
anything like that.
I practiced with it about a week ago as a full team, so it's not unfamiliar territory, but it's definitely different than a lot of other champs that are kind of mostly in his match history. I'd say a lot of them are kind of tankier.
So, I feel like Fam, if Fam gets going with the Quirky and the Jin, they're probably just going to be able to two-shot everything but the Tom Kench. They don't have a great tank shred, really, but if Caitlyn and Akshan die, I don't think it really matters.
Right. I mean, Timo might go for like a Leandres or something instead of. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, right? Like a Ludens or something would help him burst if he does get to the Akshan or the Caitlyn and blinds them. That would greatly increase how much damage he does.
Yeah. It's a 76,000 mastery on Teemo. Bromstein with 100,000 mastery on Akshan already.
Yeah, I think
Jeez.
the level 1 here is going to be kind of interesting. We'll see if that even happens, right? Morgana doesn't really want to start Q, but
Mhm.
it's probably worth it if you get a first blood.
Teemo starting boots and refillable.
Yep, he has Phase Rush and Ignite. So this Teemo is fast.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Well, Bromstein with Ignite, so Corki with TP and Tom Kinch with TP. Good little procking of the passive from Braum. He gets 9 gold from first strike there.
That's a whole tiny discount towards something.
Yep. 14 gold in the pocket. That one little trade, and Aratameru will go back and we'll be able to make it in time.
Yeah, nothing too intense for the level 1 though, which is maybe it's just safer that way. Celestial Vixen does have the exhaust on the gen, so I would imagine that's, I don't know, I feel like you can't quite reach Caitlyn if that happens, so you're exhausting probably the Akshan is the only target I can really think of, but
Yeah.
so that's kind of interesting, but I know, heal is not always it's not the same as it used to be on being just extremely effective.
Yeah, I think it'll just I think Celestial Vixen is going to be playing team fights from really far away, kind of like you said earlier. And so if Akshan does like come out of the shadows while she is ulting,
Yeah.
then having that exhaust will just help quite a bit.
Yeah, hopefully it at least allows enough time for, some of her team to turn around to help. And like that is the nice thing about having both Nautilus and Nunu is like one can be the one at the front looking for something, probably Nautilus actually, and then one can be kind of in the middle and it's easier to turn around for peeling your backline.
Brown going in for a quick trade here, and he does have Ignite. Corki does not. Not gonna all in quite yet, but Corki already 2 corrupting pots down and 2 of his biscuits. Maybe just 1 of his biscuits.
I think just 1 only came in, but yeah, he's pretty low on mana so far. I don't know, like, what secondary tree does Corki even go?
We've got a hook into Flay under tower there from Aloe. Tom Kench going to land the W onto Teemo. Teemo will flash, and with Phase Rush is going to try and get out there, but tries to go for the invisible alcove play, but Sleep on his Tom Kench going to get first blood. And Braum almost in Ignite range there on the Corki. Corki will just recall and take the TP back to lane, I'm sure.
It's kind of interesting that gank happened. I think that both of our junglers just kind of passed each other in the night top lane because Nunu actually secured the top scuttle there.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that Morgana was probably in the bush, and I don't know which way Nunu approached the river or like left. It kind of looked like he left through Tri, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. Hook going down onto a Aloe, and the Ignite going to pop. Aloe gonna flash out of there. Braum already on a roam down, camouflaged against the wall. JWM is here on the Morgana. There are sums up. Braum's going to start shooting the Jhin. Jhin has to flash the binding. The hook lands from Aloe, but not in flay range, not willing to take it. But Elias goes back in and is going to have to blow his flash because of it.
I don't think he wanted that
Yep.
hook to hit. But yeah, this is a really easy dragon transition. Trooper gets a lot of time to. He can either push that wave, or he can actually. I think that could be set up to freeze if he wanted to. He's healthy enough that if he really wanted to, but it's probably better to back after that.
Fam, I'm not sure if they know the dragon is happening. Sloppy Froppy looking to try and invade Morgana's jungle there, but Tahm Kench is there and will dissuade.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe they did know that that might be a pretty good dragon opportunity. So then you want your Nunu to see what they can get on the top side. The top bush is warded, so maybe ganking's not really going to work. And Tahm Kench was already kind of back anyway, so. But it was really nice for Copycat to send Tahm Kench into the jungle to just kind of deter, or at least get that info.
Yep. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by the cat again.
Oh, he was over here for a second. Because of that roam bot, Corki does hit 6 earlier than the Akshan, but not by much. Akshan just being 6. But we've got Morgana back bot, and there are no flashes down here.
Yep. A huge wave. Elias is going to get a lot of damage back down onto Trooper, but he's just going to walk into the tower. If his hook comes up, they might be able to trade here. Nunu is here. Trooper gets the kill finally. Sloppy Froppy now running onto Trooper. JWM going to have to flash out of the Nunu route. Aloe is very low over here.
They need to concentrate their focus here a little bit.
Jojo hits the binding, and now Corki's finally here. Aratameru getting his first kill of the game. Braum just running back to lane, so that makes it overall a 1-for-1 support for support. Jellybean, please stop attacking me, little buddy. Ow. I didn't see. Oh, so Corki got the kill versus Caitlyn getting the kill.
Jen.
No. Like Trooper got the kill for CC, and Corki got the kill for Fam. Braum is now up top. Teemo still doesn't have flash and hasn't had that much time to shroom things up. That is a Swifty Boots rush on Teemo. So he's going to be very hard to lock down. And if Good Loss saves his blind, not much is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Swifties are pretty good for Tahm Kench, especially because, if you get tagged by a Q, he generally just runs people down, but the Swifties might be enough to make that less likely. And then this Teemo is still fast as fuck with the phase rush.
Yeah, you want to cast too?
Did we not bring any toys on?
I have the laser pointer still, but all right, we see a 3-man collapse looking to happen here in the mid lane onto Braum, but it does get pinged out. They see the Nunu in river. Nunu now snowballing up top towards Tahm Kench, but that's a big tanky boy. I don't think he's going to be able to be stopped there. That's the package down from Aratameru onto Braum. The Akshan ult, I think, will be just enough. There it is with the execute. And the solo kill while still getting the flash too. Elias landing the hook through the 90 caliber net, pops the ignite down onto Trooper, but not enough follow-up from Celestial Vixen. and she doesn't have enough mana to ult with the Jhin, so just gonna take the recall there. 1700 gold for the Caitlyn, so we'll finish the Noon Quiver and buy boots. And now Jojo looks like he's gonna start up the Rift Herald there.
Yeah, I mean, being able to grab it before this next dragon spawn is pretty nice. That means you get to use it to, like, while you're trying to dance around dragon, or you can at least make sure that while you do dragon, the other team isn't getting the consolation Rift Herald prize.
Elias is now here behind Braum. Corki is in there. A quick flash from Braum. He's gonna make it out. Meanwhile, gank top lane, the Morgana ult being used. I assume the binding hit up there, and Teemo is just CC'd to death.
Morgana, like, just being top and Akshan being low does mean that Fam does have a little bit more priority on the dragon. However, Jhin is not here. He's currently recalling and walking down. But it's really hard to steal from a Nunu, especially if he just kills you.
Yes. Trooper, no flash, but has the heal, so nobody's gonna die. But Jhin had to be spent. I think Jhin did not get an assist, so no Legends stack for Jhin.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the gank focus top onto the Teemo, like, they really haven't lost out too much on the rest of the map yet. So it seems to be working, because, right, if you get an oppressive Teemo, then it makes it extremely hard. And that is one of the things, is that if Teemo does build something that's maybe, like, anti-Tahm Kench, then the other people that have to, like, he can't just face check everything, because he won't regen as much because of those nerfs, probably. And then you, like, are slowly whittling down your front line. And the other people on Copycat can't really be the ones to face check a Teemo Shroom, even with the Black Shield.
Yep. Looks like so far he's probably going for the Nashor's Tooth rush. So probably an attack speed on hit kind of Teemo, which will make the Shrooms maybe a little less strong. But it's 2022, so I'm sure if Caitlyn or Akshan hit a Teemo Shroom, they are still going to get one shot. Sleepy lands the W, pops the ulti down onto Teemo. Teemo has flash and ignite, but with the flash will start running away. The second W from Tahm Kench comes out. Elias flashing into the binding, hoping to save the Teemo. The Morgana ulti just able to complete there, and now Sleepy running for his life. A 1-for-1 trade so far. Braumstein is here. If he pops that Q, Elias stays, so that should be a dead Nautilus. He's gonna get behind the Corki for the ulti. Sleepy walking into a Teemo Shroom, taking some Corki poke. It's a lot harder to talk when you're not, like, when you're 60% there. Blame Jellybean. So overall, just a 1-for-1. Morgana flash for Teemo flash and ignite. Also, the Nautilus did use his flash.
Yeah, while this happens, because Nautilus left, bot lane of Copycat is getting a lot of plates. Might even get a kill, maybe? We'll see. That's kind of bullshit that trap didn't detonate, I feel like, but no one asked me.
CC able to get 3 plates more in the mid lane, and so opening up a 3k gold lead here, mostly off farm and tower plates.
Yeah, and I mean, plates are about to go down very shortly, so there is no way that Fam is able to get anything back in the way of plates. Oh.
Yeah.
Elias walks a little too close, trying to zone recall.
Just playing a little too aggressive this game, I think. Good loss. Standing still to auto award gives Sleepy the in to go. Sleepy going to throw him into the bush, and even with Cloud slow resistance and the Swifties, Teemo can't get away from that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think at this point, the Teemo has been got enough times that he's gonna really struggle here. He has completed the Nashor's Tooth, so he does have that going for him. He can probably that helps him, actually get gold from the waves that he is collecting because he'll be able to attack faster without having to wave clear with shrooms. But it's definitely gonna be hard. It'll be interesting to see what kind of mythic he does go into. Because, like as we said, there's not really a good tank killer on the side of Fam. Corki has a bit of shred, right, with the shrapnel spray thingy, but I don't think he wants to get that close to Tahm Kench.
Yeah, I think their goal this game, Elias mid lane again, Braum blowing flash again. We've seen this once before, just about 5 minutes ago for Braum's last flash. I think Fam's goal this game is to kill Caitlyn and Elias, and then Caitlyn and Akshan, sorry, and then leave CC with nothing to do damage. A good play from Aloe to end the Nunu ult early. Corki already doing a ton of damage to the Morgana there. Trooper going to get shut down, and it does go over to Corki. So this is a pretty big swing. It's still 4k gold lead. And
yeah, this ensures the next dragon again, so despite not getting the first one, they're actually able to start stacking. But
Yep.
Sleepy is just on the top tier 2 tower, and tier 2 towers are worth a lot of gold.
Yeah. This is objective bounty time, though. Aretameru flashing forward to try and get a kill onto Braum. And not going to find it. But Fam will take the Mountain Dragon and get an objective bounty, as well as take this bot lane tower for a second objective bounty.
Yeah, but I think while this happens, though, it's a very easy Rift Herald to take. Sleepy doesn't even need to, like... He's backing right now, but he probably could have just gone to help. But yeah, this... Getting the other Rift Herald, that's probably going to for sure take down mid.
Yep.
But yeah, getting that string of objective bounties, that was enough to actually take the objective bounties off of the table, it looks like. There aren't any more.
It went from a 4k gold lead down to a 3k gold lead. Jojo gonna get caught out here with the package from Corki. The spell shield goes away instantly. Braum now getting caught out. Flash down, remember, from the earlier gank from Elias. And this is 5 people in the mid lane. Sleepy going to eat Braum. A good hook from Thresh will put Jhin under tower. And the Caitlyn ulti curves around Corki, but not able to find it. Sloppy Froppy just gonna eat up the Braum ulti there. Not gonna care too much as he is not low. And with Caitlyn here, I think they're gonna be able to defend any sort of siege. So Jojo does go down, but he still managed to pick up the Herald. Elias maybe looking for a Hex Flash over the wall or something, but I think this... Wow. The cat just pushing stuff off my desk.
I think there's enough downtime, but right, this is optimal wave collecting time for Fam. CC might still get mid because it's pretty low. But I think it's, unless there's a lot of people there on the side of Fam, it's in their best interest to probably just let that fall if it gets close.
Yeah, I think if you're CC, you might try and just hold on to this Herald until a bit closer to drag and just try and go for a Herald down mid lane, and while they're cleaning that up, you head to drag sort of play.
Yeah, try and make the 2-for-1. We're ganking the Tahm Kench.
Yep.
Still would not want
That's
to walk
all the
that close.
CC down, so now you can just W away. and Nunu blue flash to try and get the root down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ripped Herald goes down already here. Aratameru gets hooked by Elias and gets flayed out of the Valkyrie. Jojo will get the kill onto Corki there, but Jin just free firing in the on the back
Timo
line.
and Nunu flanking here. They do shut down,
Yep.
but
Teemo out of mana, and
Yeah.
the Gale Force forward from Caitlyn will get the execute. And now it's 2 ADCs versus 1. Not sure if they're gonna try and keep sieging, but I think they
that
could.
Can. Right, Jhin has an ammo system, and these guys don't.
Yep.
They should be trying to counter jungle some camps here, and it looks like they're gonna head towards the red buff.
I did not see how both Sleepe and Teemo and Nunu all like they were just fighting top, and then all of
And
a
then they're
sudden they
also
all make.
mid.
Yeah.
Looks like the teleport's down on Tom Kench, so it might have been one of those. So maybe Teemo and Nunu just ran down the river, and Tom Kench TP'd in.
Yep. We do have Dragon coming up now in a minute. Looks like Fam was trying to secure a red buff there, but it was taken and given away to the Caitlyn.
I think it could be worth it on the side of Copycat to just take like the early dragon or top dragon. Fucking Austin doing this to me. The Baron, while this yeah, it's soul point, but I don't think they can do like you have 2 ADCs and a Tom Kench, but we might just fight over this. It might be successful.
Nautilus getting chunked out a lot. Both of
Oh
the
my God.
ADC executes. Sleepe hits the W into the Valkyrie, so Corki gets interrupted. Nunu's down already. Nautilus is down, and there's a lot of low health bars here. Corki might be able to go for a hero play, but and Jin still has ulti, so I think Fam could still do something about this. Jin just
Yeah.
needs to light him up, and they need to do it right now, but they're waiting
Right.
too long.
Yeah, I mean, like
So-
they had to take damage from dragons, so that would have been a good opportunity to try if they were gonna go for it. But we just kind of stood in the jungle.
Yep. So good hook from Aloe to start that off as Elias was trying to get the vision down at the front, and then it was a good recovery there from Fam, but the 5v5 just went the way of CC there in the end. Zesty wants to do a gold check, so Corki actually the richest person in the game, followed closely by Caitlyn, and then Tom Kench and Morgana are both having pretty good games here as well. And I think Brahm's being effective. He just hasn't he's been out of lane roaming a lot, so he hasn't been able to farm up as much.
Yeah, he kind of has like the invisible pressure, right?
Yep. Looks like Elias was hoping to go in there maybe a little bit, but not quite. It looks like it is going to end up being a Leandri's Teemo.
Yeah, I think that's the correct choice.
Yeah. It is the poke Corki with the Luden's Tempest, and I think that's a good idea here over just the crit build.
Yeah, I kind of like that because there's a lot of small hit point bars on the side of Copycat. I mean,
Yep.
ignoring Tom Kench.
Braum gonna catch Teemo here. The blind happens instantly. The Q still does a lot of damage. Aratameru has the package. Going for the hook onto Thresh. The package coming out. Gonna hit Aloe. He's gonna die instantly. The flash, Gale Force, and 90 caliber net already down. The binding from Morgana gonna miss. Sleepe so tanky though. Nothing to kill him yet, especially without that Teemo there. Braum walking forward, finding some scoundrels. Nautilus is pretty low. You could maybe get your revives there with
Especially
that
with
binding landing, but not
getting
going to
zoned
happen
off.
yet. Yep, Teemo and Nunu doing a good job. The spell shield is down now onto Jojo and not onto Tom Kench, who is further out. The W shield from Nautilus going to tank up the entirety of the Akshan ult for
You
Corki.
just need to walk up for this turret.
Yeah.
There you
Jojo
go.
landing the bindings, but not able to get in range to drop the puddles. So a good little scuffle there from Fam. And it feels like Fam, if they can just win, if they can just burst, which they have much superior burst, but I think CC's like sustained teamfight damage is higher. So if they can just keep doing that, where they land a hook onto Thresh and one-shot him, and make the pick happen, I think that's how they continue to crawl back in this game.
Yeah, I would like them to maybe nab that bounty that's on the Akshan, but he's right. We were talking about how he's not in lane or not in the lane you think he is because he's kind of been side laning now, so it's pretty hard to summon the forces.
Yep.
Next dragon is in about a minute now. Feels like these are happening really fast, but maybe that's because some of the games I've been in recently, like first dragons, are like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Braum having to flash over the wall to get away, and that could be huge for this upcoming team fight. There's some good traps from both teams, you know, Jhin and Teemo traps, Caitlyn traps. There's a lot of markers on the ground. And there's one rocket hitting Caitlyn. I don't think that was even one of the big ones. That one was a big one, and now Trooper is dead. Aratameru flashing over the wall, but he's gonna die, and Trooper gets revived by Akshan. The root goes down onto Jhin. Jojo going to live a great flay to stop the Jhin ulti. Akshan trying to do what damage he can. The Thresh is going to go down. Sleepe is just in there, and nobody does any damage to him. He's a third health still. Another binding lands from Jojo. The double flash from Nunu Teemo. We've seen it before. Akshan getting the heroic swing down, but the blind going to stop a lot of damage. Nunu gets hit by a root. And Tom Kench is still just going. They can't kill the Kench. And Jhin and Teemo are going to walk away with 100 health each, and this is going to be Soul Point going the way of CC. And they could maybe turn this into a Baron as well. They have both ADCs up, they have their tank, and they have a Liandry's Morgana, but I think they're just going to back off.
Yeah, I mean, they can just kill them again, I think, with a lot of the gold that they have if you just do the Baron dance. And then that lets you push right after the Baron instead of trying to take that now and then being immediately. So we'll see how that goes. Teemo has finished the Liandry's now, so we'll see. Probably a Demonic Embrace, I would guess. Although I think he should probably build like Shadow Flame or Void Staff. Because that Tom Kench has a lot of MR.
Yeah. And Shadow Flame would proc on like the spell shield as well. So I think Shadow Flame would be pretty good.
And whoever gets Thresh Lantern shielded.
I think Aratameru is just mistiming his package. He hasn't really had it up for any of these drag fights, and that's why Corki is so strong. The flash over the wall from Elias and Arch Lecter, the KDA, or no, that's not Arch Lecter. God damn it, that's Trooper. Sorry, I was about to shit talk Arch Lecter. I don't know why I think he's in this game. Hi, Arch Lecter. Caitlyn's gonna die. Yep. Quick, I'm gonna kill the stream and I'll come back immediately. Yep.
Okay, but that allows Fam to get a nice mid tower, but they can't really take too much else. The waves on all their side lanes are on their side of the map, so you know, take some jungle camps, clear some wards.
Yeah. And I think Fam's vision is pretty good here with the traps. It does just get pinged out, so it looks like CC knows where the wards are. But CC's vision is not too bad either. They don't have wards on Baron, but they have wards all around it. So if it starts, they'll know.
Yep.
But yeah, I do think Aratameru needs to have the package up for some of these drag or Baron fights, and so far it's mostly just been used for like picks. So hopefully it is available, and hopefully he just leaves it now for another 2 minutes or so without picking it up, but he's channeling it right now. So I hope this means that Fam just wants to go ham and like take this Baron off of a team fight. And there's 2 people recalling from the side of CC. Akshan all the way bot, which he was clearing the wave, so I think they'll see.
Oh.
And Aratameru one-shots Trooper there. This build now fully online with the Muramana and the Ludens, and he's got a Hextech alternator. So Corki able to trade without trading his life this time. So we'll have to see if they can get in. There's the package going down. Jojo not able to ult before the Zanyas and will get eaten by Sleepe, but is probably still going to go down. Yet the ulti not able to complete channeling. Sleepe finally able to die. Celestial Vixen gets a triple kill on the Jhin, having sort of a quietly good game here. Now at 6-1 and 5. And that will be Baron going the way of Fam.
I like that they're possibly just rotating immediately to this top turret. There's at least having some of them. There's a lot of minions there. There's still a tower. But Dragon's coming up pretty soon, so they do want to make sure that they do get that recall. Right, you don't probably need all 3 people up here to take this tower with the Baron, but maybe they're optimally distributing the local gold for big buys. Who knows? But Nunu is able to get to that bottom scuttle in the dragon area, so that means that they'll have that shrine for this dragon fight for about 30 seconds of it.
Yeah. And this is now, a very difficult game for CC. There is no package for this fight, which is a huge blessing for them if they can get the Mountain Soul. Mountain Soul's got the highest win rate for any Dragon Soul in the game right now. Sleepe getting rooted down, takes some damage, pops an early gray health. Jojo gets hit by 1 rocket, takes 80% of his health because Riot thinks this is healthy for the game. The dragon started up now and being pulled away. Jojo has flash, could try and go for a steal, but it is Nunu. It's just going to get taken. Sleepe getting rooted there for a second. Aloe tanking some Jhin shots, and I think this is going to disengage. A binding does land on Elias. Some poke lands. Aloe missing the hook, but goes for the flash flay onto Corki. Corki gets knocked up by the Tahm Kench. Sleepe is in there. The Jhin is on the backside with Nunu. Jojo tries to pop the ulti, but gets just one shot by Corki. Sleepe finally probably going to go down here. He's on a T-Mushroom. Aratameru lives with just a fraction of HP.
Scrappy, but they definitely aced them, and they should be able to get pretty close. They should be able to end off of this, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Corki does... I mean, he's spec'd into MR, so he's going to do a lot of damage, or magic damage, so he's going to do a lot of damage to these towers.
Yep. That'll be it for game 1. Thresh not going to land the hook, and just going to help Celestial Vixen's KDA right there at the end. So, big game from Aratameru on the Corki, doing tons of damage, and just finding the picks that he needs to onto Troopers Caitlyn.
That was a pretty good game. It was pretty scrappy throughout the whole thing. I would say, despite it seemed like Copycat had a bit of the advantage, especially by repeat ganking the Teemo. And they were able to get right. The Caitlyn was getting ahead and had a decent bounty, and then the Akshan as well. But they weren't able to. They kind of just got rolled at several times. And the only person that can really like tank that for them is probably Tahm Kench, right? You don't really want Thresh to tank that because he's not really actually tanky, or not as tanky. And then your Thresh isn't in a position to bail someone out with the Lantern. So they definitely needed to approach their fights a little differently. That maybe they needed to actually like go harder on the split push, because I don't think in a split push situation that Teemo would have been able to deal with it really either.
Yeah.
By gathering at these locations, at these objectives, they actually let Teemo participate.
Man. Joe with the light mode Discord. He deserves to get flamed.
I like light mode on some things where I want to stay awake. So if it's jarring on my eyes, then I will stay awake.
Oh, Mr. Jellybean. Please stop eating. That's lightning cables. It's not USB-C. You don't like
USB
lightning
cat.
cables. So changes I'd like to see in this draft. I don't think Braum really plays the Corki. So I think we would probably want to ban that if you are CC. You're also on red side, so you may want to ban the Jinx. But I don't think, like, Celestial Vixen was 9-1 and 7 there at the end. She played the team fights really well. I think the bot lane for CC had a pretty okay time. So I think you just need... I would like to see JoJo on a little bit more of a carry jungler in that sort of comp, I think, where you can...
Proactively.
Like, I know that Diana was banned. I think it was in the second phase. I would like to see, maybe, or, oh no, it was banned first phase even. But something like that where you can go in and hit the Corki instead of the Corki just getting to sit there and free fire at you because you have no form of engage outside of the Thresh hook or the...
Right. It was all like a catch comp, but there were actually quite a few targets that, like, if they get caught and don't get chain CC'd, they will turn on you. But yeah, I think that FAM is in a really good place on blue side here, actually, because they have a lot of strong first pickable things, or at least first pickable things that, are good for them. You can only ban so many things in the first phase.
Yep.
There's a lot of variety on the ADC pool, and I think if if they start banning into the ADC pool, then that opens up the mid pool. So I think that's pretty strong. Like you don't want to usually blind your mid, but Victor blind is probably not terrible. It's
Yeah,
probably what he's
no,
for.
it's
He's pro play staple for a reason.
yep. You can just sit there and farm, and at the end of the game,
Press E.
yep. I would maybe almost just give Celestial Vixen the Samira. The lane I think went well enough for Trooper and Aloe that if Samira doesn't snowball off of you, I don't think she's that big of a problem later on. So maybe you drop the Samira ban and move on to banning the Quirky instead or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if they first pick Samira, then you can just draft a comp that absolutely fucks over Samira. You just pick Leona, pick Trundle. I don't know. I guess probably you can't knock her out of her ult.
No, you can.
Okay. Because, like, I was like, she can move in it, but I guess if you get forcefully moved, that's different. But yeah, like Leona, I don't know, like a Renekton would probably be good. Obviously, we're still not familiar with a lot of their champion pools.
Yep.
But yeah, there's definitely some options. Yeah, I think Morgana jungle is still like, it's not as like OP as it used to be in the patches of old, but it's still a decent choice. It just seems like it's a very like patient jungle, and if you need to be like gaining tempo for your team and converting that, it's really not the play, I don't think. Right, her damage takes forever because it's the pool and the binding, and then your ult if you're using that for damage, and then you're out of all of those for a little bit. So it's kind of hard. Like maybe if it was a very like melee heavy comp that you were against, maybe pool would be okay because then you just get more uptime because they're all stacked on each other, and then it reduces the cooldown. But she's not a quick damage champion.
Yeah. And I mean, JoJo played it well, but like you're saying, there wasn't really any follow up for bindings once they got into team fights, and I think part of that is just the Quirky diff with package and stuff.
If you run forward, Quirky splits you up.
All right, we are getting the readies up here on the second draft.
Yeah, we're just sitting here gossiping.
Yeah, filling time.
Yeah, all that time.
All right, fam, gonna ban the Diana. Quirky immediately gone. Thank goodness. Riot, please nerf more than just the package next patch. Like the fact that a Quirky rocket on a 6-second cooldown can do 80% of somebody's health, and his auto attacks do insane amounts of damage when Ziggs has to throw like 12 bombs is a travesty. So anyway, Kiana and Akshan getting banned away, Victor and Samira getting banned away. Instant first pick Jinx.
Yeah, I think that's the correct thing to do here. Jinx is still extremely strong, and I don't think any of the upcoming changes next patch have anything to do with her or her items. So she's going to continue to be strong, I imagine.
Yeah, I guess so. Celestial Vixen's status is maybe she's open today, I assume, about Samira. So I'm sorry, Celestial Vixen, but not today.
CC is locking in the Lucian Nami famous combo, even more famous than Lucian Senna. That's kind of weird when you think about it.
It's kind of like Senna
Shape of water.
died and Lucian got remarried, and then all of a sudden Senna's back.
And he's holding on to a
little,
fish like,
little awk. Now that I like to see Galio for Elias.
kind of like that with the Lucian Nami too, because like Lucian's a pretty short range champ and has to kind of right. He kind of dashes around, dashes in and out when he's skirmishing. So if Galio is able to catch him when he has to get in close, then he's going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, no, Galio does kind of suffer into the double ranged lanes, but I think Elias plays it so well that they're going to be okay. The Karthus jungle lock in here for JoJo.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If Karthus gets Jarvan ulted, I don't think he really cares.
Yeah.
So that's more damage. Now I want CC to just get more engage.
Yeah, I'm interested in the Jarvan and Galio combination that's on FAM. Because they'll be able to trap some people in a small area, and then Jinx just gets to spray. So, kind of hoping that'll happen. But maybe CC is enough, range differences that doesn't you don't really catch more than one or two people at a time.
Yeah. Are we gonna get 8 mid lane bans? No.
No.
Tom Kench getting taken away from Sleep A. He had a great game on it. Corki just scaled out to the point where Tom could not sustain that. So it will be the Ornn for Sleep A, one of his favorite champions. And it will be counterpick being given to Braum in mid lane. So we'll have to see with Corki, Victor, LeBlanc, and Syndra taken away. Aratameru settles for the Orianna.
I mean that just fuels into the AoE wombo.
Yeah.
And the Gangplank top. I did see when we were looking for Teemo matches and good losses match history, I did see a decent amount of Gangplank. So I don't really. I mean, I feel like Gangplank into Ornn is not that exciting. But
I think it's exciting for Gangplank. He gets to
hit a meatball.
You get to farm up your grasp. You're not gonna die, probably. And you're gonna come to a team fight later on with, 3,500 health and all the farm in the world.
Yep. CC is gonna round this out with the Veigar mid pick. I think that's pretty good, right? If someone does get the Jarvan Galio combo, you like Venn diagram the baby cage, and then they have to be careful how they move inside of the little Jarvan area. And Braum is pretty notable for having quite a bit of Veigar mastery. So I don't know if we necessarily got the engage that you were looking for. Ornn has some, but he's kind of not really a primary engager. And then Veigar has some pick potential.
Well, as somebody who played 2 games of Veigar into Gangplank, I can tell you that feels pretty bad. And so what I'm a little bit worried about is, Jarvan and Galio get their pick of the champion that they want to dunk on here. If they move, Jarvan just has to move in and ult somebody, and then Galio's in there, and then Orianna's got the ball on them, and Jinx is gonna get resets.
Yeah, and I think they have some pretty good choices, right? You generally don't want to go for the Lucian unless you just watched him use his E, because he'll just slide right out of your Cataclysm. But trapping the Karthus will at least keep his range of his Qs to one area. And then Vigar still is going to be like, he doesn't really like people on top of him. But Ornn does get, he can break the Jarvan wall. So we'll see if we get any interactions there.
Yep. There is, more damage this time. Karthus is going to do more damage than Morgana was doing. And maybe if he gets strong enough, he'll be able to dissuade engages with an ulti. Nothing is ever going to get in the backline to hit Jinx, and I think that was one of the problems that CC had last game against the Jhin.
Mm-hmm. We had talked that like maybe the Akshan would be able to get the flank, but we never really saw that happen.
Yep.
And in this case, yeah, there's really not too much that's going to affect the Jinx if she's properly maintaining space. It is possible for her to get maybe knocked up on the backside of an Ornn ult, but there's really no one that can like make that gap close. Lucian's probably not quite that swift. Maybe if he goes Gale Force.
Yeah, which he probably will. He could go Kraken Slayer into the Galio Jarvan, and Gangplank's gonna have health, but I think like 60-70% of Lucian's all probably go Gale Force.
Mm-hmm. I think Karthus might just go, like a Liandry's. Vigar will probably go like a Luden's, and then Ornn has Brittle to try and get through tanks as well.
Yep. Now Vigar could go the Crown of the Shattered Queen or the Everfrost build as well, both of which are going to be cheaper than Luden's.
Yeah, Everfrost might be nice to try and disengage the Galio or Jarvan. But I feel like if they're close enough to Everfrost, you're probably just in trouble, especially the Jarvan.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the Jarvan. So what I'm looking for from CC here is keeping Vigar and Karthus out of the Jarvan engage range. And what I'm looking for Fam here is put Vigar and Karthus in the Jarvan ulti and, shake them about, and then Jinx will get excited.
Yep, and then chase down the rest, hopefully.
So Karthus is not really like a ganking jungler as far as I'm concerned, so he's not really going to be able to influence bot lane. Gangplank can just orange the Karthus slow after walking through it top lane, so he's going to have a hard time.
Hard to gank.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Karthus, I think, is more of just a power farmer anyway. So if that's the case, he'll probably be happy as a clam unless he's getting invaded. That is one, like, Karthus is a pretty, like, fragile jungler, so in my opinion, assassins are pretty good. But, not everyone has all the assassins in their wheelhouse, so I don't think you can really take too much of an advantage over him. I think the best you can do is, try and steal his camps or just out-gank him while he's trying to farm, and then keep up that tempo by getting your lanes fed so that he doesn't really do anything, even though has been able to farm his jungle.
Yeah, so I have a feeling we're in for another, 60-minute game. The scaling on both teams is pretty incredible. Jinx, Gangplank are probably about the two strongest scaling champions in their given positions, and then Vigar will scale infinitely, and Karthus scales really, really well. I'm just Fam has a much better early game as well, I think, outside of the Lucian Nami lane, but I think Jarvan can just spend all his time down there, and if they get the Jinx ahead at all, she outranges the Lucian, and
right.
Yeah, I think Fam's got the easier victory going on here.
Yeah,
CC just has no CC, it feels like. I mean, I know they have Nami and Ornn and Vigar.
There's really nothing like that can be super You don't have as many like hard go buttons. I
Exactly.
feel like, yeah, because most of these are like preferably peel CCs. So someone's gonna have to walk up to try and get that initiation.
Yep.
I do hope that we probably see some somewhat early armor pen on the Jinx, because I feel like Orin will still get pretty tanky. But Gangplank, right, he does have barrels that negate 40% of armor. What bullshit.
Yep.
And our first Drake is Mountain, so we're not going to get a Mountain Soul that makes Orin even tankier.
This is a first strike Karthus, which I believe is pretty normal for him.
That makes it sound like he does want to be ganking, though.
I think he just pops his ulti like basically on cooldown, and he gets the gold from every person that he hits pretty much.
It just feels so bad to like use a rune that you don't get to use till 6 as your primary.
Yeah. Oriana going the Airy Corrupting Pot build, so gonna look for some early trades against Veigar. Veigar just going for Comet, which is pretty typical as well, and not Electrocute, which is the other kind of standard rune. Lots of vision being placed out here from CC to keep Karthus safe.
Yeah, Galio has Glacial Augment, which I think is exciting. It provides
Yeah.
damage reduction now.
Yep.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah, and it just increases the AoE CC that he has. So Nami does have Electrocute, which is the proper way to do the Lucian Nami, but it looks like the early push bot lane is in favor of Fam, so there won't be any sort of level 2 shenanigans going the way of the Lucian Nami lane.
Yeah, we're just kind of farming. Karthus is already 3 camped and is on his 4th while Jarvan is finishing his Raptors, though, so, you know. Karthus gameplay.
Yeah. Trooper manages to dash out of the hit up from Elias, but and Elias is going to have to flash out after igniting Aloe. Very eager with the ignite button in this series. So that is a heal. That's a heal and ignite down for both teams and Galio's flash, but he does have Hex Flash. So I expect we are going to see him creeping in this bush for the rest of the game, but it is on a ward for now at least.
Yeah, they could sneak a pretty quick recall here. Or take the Scuttle Crab, I know. That's sometimes popular is for bot laners to go take that Scuttle. But looks like we might just try cheesing them again here.
There's the
Kind of
Hex
know.
Flash.
I didn't quite cut over the wall, unfortunately. Rek'Sai tunnels are superior.
Karthus already on his first reset, halfway to his Fiendish Codex. The bubble lands, but there's no follow-up with no vision in the bush. Jarvan did get the topside scuttle. Karthus should get the bot side one here. So actually Jarvan, you know, staying even in farm now.
Yeah, it's just mostly just by pathing.
I think if I'm Elias this game, I'm actually getting a sweeper,
Right,
like
'cause you
right
wanna make
away.
sure that you can have that bush.
Yeah, and it's not like Karthus is gonna gank you. It's not like Veigar is gonna gank you. I mean, they can, but
It's not really in their best interest. They want to be farming.
yeah. So just having that bush control could be, really powerful. So it'd be interesting to see if he thinks about it on his next recall, or if he's just going to wait until he completes his support item like normal.
First dragon has spawned, but I feel like at the rate that this is going, right, there's no ganks yet. It's probably just gonna be there for a little bit.
Yep.
Jarvan maybe could consider bot after these Krugs. The wave is pushing in. But if he
Yep.
wants to do that, he needs to sneak into that bush pretty quick because the minions are gonna be able to see him soon.
There he is. The Hex Flash being channeled now. Elias going in, not going to be able to land anything. Sloppy Froppy is now here, but he's on a ward, and
Oh,
so just a
takes
little bit.
a lot of damage.
Yeah. Just a little bit mistimed, I think, from Elias and Sloppy Froppy.
Yep. And since they know Jarvan was bot, JoJo is creeping into the top with that Karthus. Checking out all the camps, but the Gromp just spawned, and Karthus is a very quick single target camp clear.
Orianna pinging onto Veigar. Veigar is out of mana. Orianna has biscuits and a corrupting pot charge, so she can go back up, but Veigar walking away to look for a recall. Trooper flashing forward, trying to get the kill down onto Jinx, and instead Laius is just going to trade back heavily, and Aloe focusing on the Jinx means
Oh no.
that a Trooper is on his own. There's the Galio, turns back around once he gets the spell. Aloe will get the kill finally. Good Lost will follow up with a Gangplank ulti to
I think funneling
secure.
onto the Gangplank helps. I think that's good.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Trooper's heal was up there at that point, but if it was, I think they win that, and they probably still died at Gangplank ulti, but or Jarvan. Just a little bit of miscommunication, I think, in that play, also from Aloe and Trooper. Trooper, having to dive out while Aloe was like flashing in to try and finish off the Jinx.
Yep. They definitely could have allocated better, and probably instead of the kill going on to Nami, could have gone onto the Lucian, but that's kills are kills, technically.
Yep. Elias top lane now. Ornn is going to get knocked up and taunted, but the Bellows Breath will keep Sleepy safe from the taunt there for a little while at least. And now the wave is here, but so is Aratameru.
Oh.
And so this is
This
going to
is a
be
no
the
ulti.
LCS level top
Yeah.
lane dive. A good flash from Sleepy, but I think he's going to die anyway as he
make him
gets
work.
out from tower. Yep. I wish Riot would fix their team fight thing.
Yep.
I think if you're Sleepy there, your only hope is really hitting a knock up under the tower.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So-
like, it's good not to just die under the tower, but then he went way too far away to try and, he just tried to buy time, I think.
Yep.
But, there's still no movement towards this dragon. Makes me real sad.
Yeah, all the vision is in favor of FAM right now. They're off to almost a 2k gold lead here at 8 minutes, which is I kind of called it that, FAM's comp is way stronger earlier, and it's not bad at all late. So this is already starting to feel a little bit bad for CC.
Yeah, well, we'll wait.
Trooper dashing in, gets rooted up by the Jinx traps. The Jinx rocket is going to hit.
Oh.
Good Galio ulti will stop all the Karthus damage. Ornn now looking for the 1v1 against GP. There's the flash from GP, and because Ornn had to flash earlier, GP will make it out. Oriana stuck in the Vigar pit will flash out. And now I hope Braum sees that dragon was taken and takes this minion and leaves. But he is walking further forward. So there's missing pings going on, but he's not respecting it. He thinks he's playing far enough
Trending towards
over.
his top side, but
Yep. There's the GP ulti. Flash from Elias to look for a taunt, but he'll cancel it immediately. Knows he wouldn't have been able to make it.
yeah,
And now-
Karthus is up on this top side, but I think they're just gonna elect to leave.
Yep.
It would be like, it's possible to dive that Gangplank probably, right? He doesn't have the ulti to slow everyone under the tower, but with Karthus and Vigar, it's a little bit harder. I mean, Vigar as well. Could have been possible.
Yeah. I don't know. You do need to do something about this Gangplank. He's got half of his stacks for his first ult upgrade. He's 25 farm up on Bailey right now. There's farm leads in almost every lane except jungle. And mid lane now.
Mid lane's pretty even still.
Yeah. Vigar's got 77 stacks, so 77 of those 99 minions, roughly, have been farmed with the Q. It looks like he will be going for the Crown of the Shattered Queen build. I think Everfrost builds out of the same items.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
What's ability power?
Oriana coming down. Jarvan is here as well. Elias is
warded.
on a ward.
Yeah. I think ideally you could wait for Oriana to walk up while that ward is being cleared in the river. Works out. Vigar is walking towards top. Maybe just getting some time off the map.
Bubble down from Nami will proc the electrocute, and Trooper able to just walk out of the Galio taunt means Jarvan has wasted a lot of time here, but they see Karthus clearing this ward.
Yeah, I mean, I think, right, we talked about how Karthus is like a hit ult and gank, or hit ult to gank, but it's not too often that they're getting low enough that Karthus can actually do that.
Yeah. Slappy Frappy able to get off a blue buff steal, and good loss, able to force JWM off of the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Essence Reaver Gangplank probably actually just can kill Karthus.
Oh yeah, when you're 2 levels down like that, for sure. Slappy Frappy is going to get pinned down in the Vigar cage. Just a little bit of poke going down. The Hex Flash from Elias being channeled. He comes over the wall, and there's a red ping going down, so maybe they saw something. But Sleepe taking a tower shot, getting the GP ult as well, is going to try and live, and I think he will. Just barely living the last Q from Gangplank there. But we'll have to leave his tower here and maybe go for a recall. Trooper getting a good culling down onto Elias will flash forward and Gale Force and get the first kill of the game for him. Karthus is now top lane, and Ornn is going to TP. There's no flash on Gangplank. The Karthus smites a minion instead of Gangplank. The slow's happening, and no matter
Gangplank's
what,
flash
this
is almost up.
yeah, he will go down
Not
now.
down.
Karthus has ulti now, so at that point,
Right, probably still dead.
yep. Shockwave going down from Aotameru, and the flash Jarvan combo from Sloppy Frappy. Karthus going for an ulti. Not going to do much damage through the ball shield.
Yeah, and the resistances.
Yeah. It is Crown of the Shattered Queen, Veigar. I think that's pretty good this game.
Still some ways that it could possibly get popped, but it'll be a little hard.
Yeah.
Mostly up to Orianna. This is Gale Force on the Jinx. I think that's good, right? If you get out of the way of a CC in time, it's probably beneficial.
Yeah. I think, this is basically, once again, kill all of Bailey's friends so that he's stuck alone. Galio is in there, but almost alone. Will have to flash out. Does get the Nami ult out before a potential drag fight. Orianna was soloing blue buff and is pretty far away. Will clear out mid lane and reset that. Gangplank just about to get first tower.
Yeah, Gangplank does have a teleport available, and Sleepy does not.
Yep. Aloe, with the Nami passive, able to speed himself up out of the flame chompers.
But unfortunately, them having to back off means that that dragon just goes over. So 2 dragons are over to the side of Fam, and we get Hexgate, Hextech Drake. Chemtech no longer exists. Right.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. There's not. I think flanks favor Fam more than, or trying to go for flanks favors Fam more than it favors Copycat here. Because they have the Galio or the Jarvan. Ornn flanking could be good for a weird ult angle, but it seems pretty awkward.
Karthus has ulti. GP's gonna flash away
Healer?
to save his life. I thought he was doomed, but
I thought he was gonna die. I think he had corrupting pot charges going real fast.
Aratameru gets the 1v1 kill back as well, flashing forward, not confident in their own damage, but Aery, the cosmic blue squirrel, coming out to save the day and waste your flash. This game, I think, is Trooper trying to prove what I was just about to say wrong, but will just get dunked on, and Jinx now in the game with 2 kills.
2 more kills. Even.
Yeah, 2 more kills.
I really liked that Jarvan went for the Nami. First of all, it lets Lucian be a prize for the Jinx, and it still cut off Lucian's exit path. So it was very easy to nab both. Karthus is up top again, which, it's a pretty good hunch. This tower has been very low.
Yep. This time they will get it. I think these kills need to be going to Karthus at this point, but looks like Karthus is going for the Shadow Flame rush here.
That's actually pretty good here. Galio did buy the locket.
Yep.
So anyone that he tries to save will also get a little doomed. Orianna has shields. Jarvan has shields. Lucian just...
Bromstein catching himself a gargoyle in the Veigar wall, but great 2-man shockwave from Aratameru. You love to see a good Ori play. The Jinx rocket just...
And the Gangplank ulti.
And the Gangplank ulti. You're looking to try and steal, but you can't with your Karthus Ghost here. So this is no objective bounty picked up there. Good collapse from Fam. Looks like they might just drop the Herald immediately and go for a mid-tier 2. Unfortunately, Trooper not really able to join that fight too much, and he is about your strong point here. Fam is playing around the Vigar wall like really well. You know, Aratameru I don't think has been stunned up by it once. Jarvan I don't think has been stunned up, and Galio there as well.
Oh. I think that's a very good proactive flash. Oh my god.
Yeah, Jojo just gonna die here immediately, but Sloppy Froppy will go down as well. I want them to focus now on good loss. There's the Galio ulti. It's gonna be a 3-man knockup. He's gonna taunt Trooper. Trooper does manage to flash out and will live. Nami as well trying her best to get out of here, but Elias is on the side.
Is now here.
Vigar is now here, will shut down the Orianna. Unfortunately, had to blow ult just to secure that last little bit. He has exhaust, but won't be able to get in range of either of these champions, I believe. He wants those shutdowns really bad. There's another 150. He does land a stun down onto Elias, but now he's going to get taunted up, and Jinx is here. The exhaust goes down, but it's not going to matter.
That would have been over a little sooner if Jinx had gone mid. But I think they, you know, I think going for top tower is correct, right? Most of that fight had played out. It was only kind of still a thing because they pushed in the mid to try and finish, and then Vigar, who was thought during all of that, was able to approach mid. Dragon's coming up. I think Gangplank's maybe just gonna... Nope, he's gonna back. I was thinking he might set up some barrels. Maybe he will now. Because I think setting up some barrels right there into that passageway could heavily deter anyone from contesting it if they wanted to try.
Yeah.
But it looks like they might just be giving.
I think they need to. I don't know what they do here necessarily. I think Vigar is going for Horizon focus next.
Yeah, I mean, they do know that the Jinx's flash is down, so I think they do need to try and get onto her again if they can. Unfortunately, they burned a lot, I think, to try and get there in the first place. So it's going to be really hard to repeat the feat.
It's just what I talked about in Champ Select, right? How do you get to Jinx past the Jarvan ulti, the Galio, and the Gangplank barrels? It's so hard. And then she gets Orianna shields and shockwaves as well. They need that shutdown gold, but they just don't have any of that like outplay potential really with this comp. You know, you've got your immobile mages in Karthus and Vigar.
Yeah, this is a Prowler's Claw Gangplank. And it looks like he's going for the Collector next, which is, I mean, the Collector is a fun item conceptually, but probably a trap in most things. But there are some squishies that kind of get stuck in his ulti that he might be able to get to execute. So it's definitely not the worst build ever. But I kind of would, I don't know, I feel like just Armor Pen would be nice. I'm not a Gangplank player, so...
I don't think he needs it.
He doesn't really need it.
No
but
armor on anybody this game.
Ornn faster so that Jinx can kill him and get excited and then run down the back line. I don't think that's bad per se. Everyone's goals are different.
Yep. So how does CC start staging a comeback here? We talked about killing Jinx.
They need to distribute their farm so that Vigar is not in the same lane as their other carries. Vigar should probably be mid or top.
Yep. GP and Orianna here. No shockwave needed. The QW.
Good to hold it.
That is an ulti coming out of Karthus, but there's no way for anybody to follow up on that damage. Ornn is going to go for the 1v1 here against Gangplank. Will land another Brittle proc, but Galio now in range. The Glacial Augment is going to proc and slow the Ornn. Ornn's going to walk out. The Culling is going to give a huge shutdown over to the Lucian. Sleepe on the Ornn trying to walk away. He gets the shutdown.
Personally, I don't think that investing your Galio into that was necessary.
Yeah.
You gave 2 people instead of just 1, which is 2 less, which is an extra Baron buff that you don't get.
Yep. And Galio had the shutdown as well. So
Right, so that giving that up is not the most ideal. I don't think that damns fam into, onto a downward spiral, but if you're trying to minimize your losses, I think that one was avoidable.
yep. The outplay was almost there, but CC went all in, and yeah, fam.
I mean, they had a
They just
strict
take
numbers
Baron, and now they should be able to siege. Vygar's wave clear is okay, but not the best. Definitely can't clear Baron minions very well, and neither can Karthus really.
Yeah. I think with the fact that it's Hextech Soul, Jinx does have the Runons, which, generally pretty standard for aggressive or just normal Jinx builds. But she does have the Rapid Fire as well, which means that Jinx just autoing someone at that max range is possibly an engage. It does like the old static shiv, but it also slows. So they can just run them down. But looks like we're gonna go pick on the Ornn.
Yep. No flash. He does have ulti. He's just gonna get knocked up and taken out. CC is at Dragon, and
Congrats, you maybe get a dragon.
two of them are gonna try and take it. Jarvan is there, so,
Right, so he
they're
can
gonna
just
be giving
steal.
up.
Or try, at least.
Yeah. That's the culling down from Lucian now for this potential team fight. GP cleanses off the Vygar cage. Celestial Vixen is going to still land the ulti after the flash from Aloe. Jojo and Sloppy Froppy are fighting at the dragon. Jojo's ulti will probably kill him.
Not if he smites it for
Not
help.
anymore. Not with the Galio ulti. This pick from Elias is just very strong.
My only critique of the little slap fight next to the dragon is ideally you want to try and not be the one tanking the dragon as well.
Yep.
Obviously, you can't get everything that you want.
So that is Hextech Soul and top lane inhibitor going the way of fam, and I think at this point they could just walk it in mid, Baron or not.
Yeah, Ornn is giving out a couple of items here, so that is technically he's given out 2 and has his own, so that's technically like 3,000 gold in stats. But that does not outweigh the 11k gold lead plus all 4 dragons being on the side of fam.
Yep. Karthus looking for Raptors and Elias looking for Karthus. We'll drop a ward and we'll be able to walk away for now. But now fam has the inline track to this mid lane tower. Ornn does land a bit of an engage onto Celestial Vixen, but his team's not there yet. The stopwatch from Celestial Vixen going to save them. Vygar looking to kill, good loss, and he does. Karthus is already dead, no ulti to cast still. Vygar is looking to try and kill Sloppy Froppy, but his ulti is down, his exhaust is down, his flash is down, so Celestial Vixen is just going to run forward with the Get Excited, and that's going to be the 2-0 going the way of fam.
Definitely a little bit of a less back and forth scrappy game. And I think, right, we kind of identified in Champions Select that it was just going to be really hard for Copycat to get onto fam's backline. Artemario has shown himself to be a very good player, and Celestial Vixen has been having some really great games with just the backline carries. Right, everyone's banning the Samira, which jumps into you, but she's perfectly fine playing something that sits back and pew-pews and kills you anyway.
Yeah. Yep, and Elias and the Galio helps that lane play out much better than the first lane did for them, and yeah, just too much scaling on the side of they picked the Boomer scaling champs, and fam picked the Zoomer scaling champs. with the Gangplank and the Jinx. So, Lucian, Karthus, Veigar, those are all way too old to be viable in modern day League.
Jinx is technically kind of an old champion.
I know. She might even be older than Lucian, but she got the
No,
arcane
Lucian came out
refresh.
before Jinx did, because Lucian came out when I was started, and Jinx came out a few months after I started.
Yeah, I'd believe it. It's too long. This game's too old.
I mean, yeah, that's still in 2013, 9 years ago.
All right. Well played there from Fam. I think we can probably hop up to a General.
My God.
Super sugar rare? What is it?
Hi, Donna.
Hello.
Hi, David.
Oh my god.
GG's.
GG's.
GG's. GG's.
GG's.
Alright. Good luck.
GG's.
Your game next week, guys.
You guys got
Yeah,
this.
y'all
I'll be
too.
rooting for you. Thanks, we need it.
Oofda.
Wait, isn't your game next week against us?
No, it's
No,
against
I think we're
their.
against
Oh.
We're against
Wait,
them.
We wouldn't need it if it was against you.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Never
you
mind.
you guys are just gonna crap on us. So
I am
Derek, you buying that car, man?
absolutely-
What's going on here?
it depends. Are we winning 2-0 or not?
If that's all it lays on, let's get this thing done.
I'll run it for Al to get money.
I was like, I'm
just
going
saying.
chemo support.
Like,
Al gets a commission? Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's all that matters.
yep.
I
didn't
guess
think our
you
team
weren't
was
in
too
here,
bad.
Derek and Dana, but I'm just like so tilted from that game one still. I'm so angry.
Forky's pretty busted,
Not
isn't
fair, dude. It's
So
not fair.
obnoxious
It's
right
not
now.
fair.
he? It's
That
not.
champion is balanced.
We were
Totally
traumatized
balanced.
by Corky before it was cool, but now it's very cool and very
Yeah.
not cool at the same time.
I really like how the one thing they're changing about him is his package timer is going to be a minute longer. When
it fucking matters.
his Corky rockets still do 80% of your health,
Yeah.
and he
And,
can
like-
fire them instantly.
And he can shoot some, like, it explodes and hits like 7 people. It's
Yep.
like, yo.
He probably has a skin upcoming or something.
Maybe I should try that build on Ziggs, and Ziggs will be viable.
I don't think
That's
so.
how that works, yeah.
But
I think Ravenous Hydra Ziggs is the new
Just wait
tech.
until you fight us and then do that.
They just need to rework him and not give him AP and AD scalings, or just give him only AP.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say
let
one
him
or
double
the
You just need
other.
to make the fucking rockets do less damage. That's it.
Yeah, true.
Guys, I am so sorry. Really, truly.
Wait, for what?
Like,